Those of us who work in TV are always seeing changes and seeing coworkers come and go. It's been that way for years.
Sometimes we wonder where the next generation of people in our business will come from. Well, some might be coming from one of Maine's smallest elementary schools. 207's Don Kerrigan may have gotten a glimpse of the future right in his hometown.
It takes a lot of parts to make a TV show, and before this
is the South Bristol Scoop.
Comes this. At the South Bristol School, the most important parts of the show are the fifth graders, all three of them. For much of this school year, the fifth graders have been learning how to make it all come together.
Brooke, why don't we get some mic cables out here?
On this day, the sixth graders are helping with setup, all under the watchful eye of Larry Seidling.
To the camera, so we're going to use this 1/4-inch cable.
He is from Lincoln County Television, the local access channel, and together with production manager Haven Simmons, have been helping the kids learn how to make their own TV news show. The idea, he says, came for a slightly selfish reason.
We have a hard time finding interns and young people to get involved in the public access TV station in Lincoln County Television. Why not start a program in the lower grade schools?
Kind of like Pee-wee sports teams, he thought.
So you could say to Edith right now, give me a mic check.
So he pitched the idea to school principal Lori Stiles, who jumped on board.
The hands-on learning, for sure. I knew this was going to provide our fifth graders an opportunity that is not often given to students until high school or college, really. And they're also a very eager group. And so I knew that they would run with it.
You got camera 3 all set up?
Which they did. There were 6 fifth graders to start with, but some moved away and another went to homeschool. So Ariel, John, and Edith took charge.
I was kind of excited, but then I realized I would have to smell the smell of fish every day when I went down to get the prices.
This is a fishing town after all, so each show includes an update on lobster prices.
And hardshell lobster is $13.99 per pound.
The first show, we took most of the class setting up and taking down, so we only had so much time to shoot. As time went on, we wrote longer scripts, and we had more time to shoot the things.
What was your favorite part of this trip?
They do interviews both in the school and out in the community. And then the kids decide how to put the whole show together and write a script.
400-meter dash and scored.
Lincoln Academy, 8 points.
What's been the hardest part?
One of the hardest has been making the script because it needs to be long enough, but it can't be too short either.
Sounds familiar.
First highlight, 3-second pause.
All of that work is done with the guidance of their 3 middle school teachers.
The whole middle school had to be flexible to make this show happen.
Science and math teacher Jason Begonia says they've all had to fill in the gaps on production days.
So I'm supposed to be teaching 8th grade science first thing this morning, and I'm not. I'm here.
Here's your 3-day tide forecast with Aria.
But the learning experience for these kids, worth it.
I can see the difference between their practice and when they get on stage. They're much pickier about what they wrote when they're on stage. And like, what? This is not the way this should be said.
When you watched the first show, what did you think?
Yikes.
Good?
I was like, yikes. No, we're not gonna get through this year. Yeah.
It wasn't really that good.
But they all got steadily better.
We saw.
They even took the show on the road a few times, including a visit to the local hospital. They had to meet and talk with the grown-ups there and ask questions. A big learning experience, the kids told their principal, even watching an operation.
Knee replacement.
Oh, wow. So you saw somebody with their knee cut open?
Yep. We saw everything.
And we heard the saws too.
So much learning, so much learning.
And they've all found what they like the best. Ariel likes being on camera.
Because when you're behind camera, you have to be really, really silent.
John likes to be the director.
Because it's really important, the job, because you need to switch between the different like camera angles. So like if like Edith is talking, I have to switch from Aria to Edith.
Edith likes both.
I think on camera is most funny because I'm next to Aria most of the time, and she's the one that has most of the bloopers. High tide will be at 5:58 p.m. Vatican.
They love the bloopers. They also all seem to love doing the South Bristol Scoop. So, one more interview question for their principal.
Miss Stiles, are we going to do the LCTV again next year?
Of course you're asking me on camera. So we have talked about a way to get both 5th grade and 6th grade next year to work on this.
All say they want to keep going, and other schools in area towns have been watching, and 3 of them are talking with LCTV about starting their own school newscasts. These kids and their teachers and their TV coaches may have started something.
Bring it in, bring it in. Thank you once again. South Bristol Scoop on 3.
If I do,
I don't know. South Bristol Scoop on 3. 1, 2, 3. South Bristol Scoop.
Oh, I love that story.
That's one of my favorite stories of 2025.
Oh my gosh, when Don said that he was going to do this, I was like, I cannot wait to see what these kids have to say. And they are so into it. And it's great to see that like they're learning. It's not everything you see on television. There's so much that goes into it.
Well, it was so funny because as Sam and I were watching, we were both kind of nodding at a lot of what they were saying because we know that they're right.
Exactly.
That, they get it. They understand a lot of the stuff that goes into what we do and what they're doing.
Oh, it's awesome. And shout out too to those teachers because getting there early to do that, this stuff wouldn't happen without them. So
Yeah, to Larry Seidlinger as well. So the school and Lincoln County TV are looking for funding to resume the Scoop next fall. And as Don mentioned, 3 other schools in the area are talking about starting their own newscasts.
if you want to check it out, you can do so by going to lctv.org and click on the South Bristol Scoop.